Welcome to Balanced Body and Beyond. Thank you for joining me today for this session of simply stretching, something we all need, something we probably don't make enough time for in our day-to-day living. So if you can just dedicate anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes to lay on your mat, stretch yourselves out, and calm yourselves from the mind through the body, you will make such a difference in how you feel. So join me, roll out your mat, and let's get stretching together. I'm going to begin on the back. And let your arms just rest alongside your body. We're going to start by stretching the inside of the body. And how do we do that? We're going to do that with our breath. So if you bring your lips together, I want you to take a big breath in through your nostrils and a long exhale out through your nostrils. And I want you to imagine there's a balloon inside your belly and you're breathing in and out of that balloon, blowing up your balloon, expanding your balloon. And as you exhale, you're deflating your balloon. So the stretch begins now. Stretching through our lungs and our abdominal cavity. Quieting our minds. Untangling our thoughts. And just get present. We're going to dedicate the upcoming time to taking care of ourselves, to making ourselves feel better. Now we're going to continue inhaling and exhaling through our nostrils. Your eyes might be shut, you may be gazing to the ceiling, but we're going to send our arms wide and walk our feet in towards our hips, placing our feet to the outer edge of our mat and gently rocking the legs side to side. So it begins with a slow release of the lower back. And our stretches today and our movements today, we're not going to hold any stretch or stay with one movement for a terribly long time. So we're going to stay active to keep our muscles warm. As you see, I am in a long sleeve shirt. It is chilly here today. And we do not keep our house very warm for many reasons. But nonetheless, I will dress for the season. So as you're stretching, it is important to keep your bodies warm. So if you're chilly, those muscles contract and tense up. So do try to either do some warm-up movement before you come down and stretch, or just wear some warm clothes. All right, so that's your last one here. We'll point our knees to the ceiling. Keep your feet wide. You can bring your arms alongside your body. We're going to pick our hips up into a bridge. Push through the bottoms of your feet. And right away, you're going to get some stretch through the front side of the body. Hello, Oliver. And then bring the hips back down. So hips come up and hips come down. Good. Oliver's a bit amped up right now because I just gave him a mouse that's stuffed with catnip. And he thinks that's all the rage. So he probably won't stick around too long. Go get your mouse, Oliver. Good. You're going to block everyone's view. We're going to keep going up and down with the hips. 'Tis the season of being indoors. All right. Hold this bridge. Now, just feel the stretch here. Awesome. Lower the hips down and pull your legs into your body, bending the knees. You can take your hands just behind your knees and see if you can just kind of rock side to side. And you're going to go ahead and pull the sacrum up, your tailbone up off the mat. You can rock or you can just hold here. We're going to take a double leg hamstring stretch. So stretch both feet up to the ceiling. You can keep your hands just behind the knees and pull in. You might bring your hands up a little higher. But let's go ahead and keep our tailbone pushing down to the mat. And if that's too intense, you just lighten it up a little bit. Let your right leg go to the floor and bring your left leg straight up, single leg hamstring stretch. And then we're going to cross this leg over midline. And we're going to hold this stretch here. So your leg is over to the side, and then your arm is reaching in the opposing direction. You can turn your head and look away from the stretched out leg. You might bend this knee a bit and just hang out here and enjoy the stretch. Good. Roll onto your back, and then we'll stretch the opposite leg to the ceiling and take that same motion, letting your leg come across your body. Opposite arm reaches. Turn your head, look away from the leg. And you can use your hand to help push down on that top leg. You might bend your knee a little bit. But again, just feeling that stretch. Awesome. And all these exercises today, these stretches we do, they should feel good. So you tailor the routine to meet the needs of your body. You don't have to look exactly like me or anybody else you might see in videos. You just look like yourself and feel good with that. So let's roll onto our back. And we're going to bring our feet close together here and our knees close together. And we're going to come into another bridge. But this time the stretch feels different because our feet are close together. It does feel like some work. We're going to go up and down. Give yourself a small pelvic tilt. And I just feel such a greater stretch, even from my knees, through my thighs, up into my hips. And again, because lifting our hips up and down does require some energy and some effort, it's not a bad thing. The muscles are getting a signal that they're working, and once they go into that working mode, they generate heat, and warmer muscles will work better, stretch better. Good. We'll try one more. And lower your hips down. You're going to bring the soles of your feet together. Let's do some hip opening. So you can use your hands and just press down on your inner thighs. You can take the heel of your hand and kind of push right into the upper part of your thigh. You might have to scoop your hips up underneath you a bit. So I invite you to stay here, or once again, arms can come alongside the body and you can do some bridges from this position. This is a fantastic stretch because once those hips come up, we lengthen so much more through the inner thighs, through the pelvis. And if the hip lift isn't achievable for you, don't worry about it. Just stay in the reclined butterfly positioning. Awesome. We'll take one more. And if you connect with any of these stretches and you know that's the stretch that your body needs, take a mental note of it, and then you can do it at any point during the day in your free time. We're going to lay onto the right side of our body. And once you're on the right side of your body, you're going to bring your palms together and we're going to circle this top arm. It's a great shoulder opener. And when we're laying down, making these circles, we create space in the shoulder joint and we use gravity to keep our arm close to our body. So the greater range of motion you have in your shoulder, you'll notice your fingertips can stay close to the floor. We're going to change directions, but your circle might be up here because that's where your shoulder tells you that's as far as you can go. But over time, as we keep practicing our circles, arm can drop lower and lower. Right? And we definitely want to be at a relaxed state. Feeling our cortisol levels lower and removing tension and tightness through the body through these nice stretches. Hold here, and then we'll swing our arms to the other side. I am going to just rotate my head to the other side. Oh, look what Oliver brought me. When did you put that there, Oliver? Good. I'm not going to engage in play though, because that's only going to start a ruckus. But here, I'll put your mouse over there for you. Good. Are you remembering to breathe in and out through your nostrils? Good. And then change directions. I will tell you, I have been at work all day. It's late in the afternoon, and I thought, oh, it would be a good idea to shoot a video. And the perfect video for me today, right now, is simply stretch. And we're not going to get on our feet at all. I've been on my feet all morning. I'm done with being on my feet for now. Hold here. And then we're going to prop ourselves up into a seated position. We'll take our heels down in front of us. I'll have to do a little hair check here. And from here, we're going to let the legs rock side to side like we did at the beginning of practice. I do these a lot because I just love the sensation. But I'm going to add a little bit more to it. We're going to extend your top leg. And if it bothers you to be on your palms, you can drop to your elbows. But again, I said we would be doing some active stretching, moving stretching. That being said, if you hit a spot here and you're like, oh, I just want to stay there, stay there. It's your time on the mat. Do what's right for you. I love it. All right, hold your feet still and extend just the left leg. Pull the right leg in. So we'll take another stretch for the back of your leg, keeping your left hand anchored onto the mat. We're going to take a bow, reaching, then come up and over, kind of like making a half circle. Exhale, fold. Inhale, open. I don't know that you can see Oliver in the camera, but he is just staring at that mouse, waiting and waiting. Oh, here he comes for it to move. All right, hold here. Send your right hand on the mat and then just rotate this left foot so your toes are pointing away from you. And you're going to lift your hips up. I like to call this dancing with the stars. I don't know why. Right? And if your hips don't come up off the mat for that stretch, you can just lift your arm and lean back. Or I will give you one other option. You can tuck both knees side by side and push your hips forward here, and then you get this openness through the front of the body. So some options. Good. So knees both bent, or straighten the top leg. Cool. One more time. Oliver, this is not the Oliver show. It really isn't. Let's swing ourselves around the other side. Extend your right leg, left arm up. Exhale, forward fold. Oh, I'm so much tighter on this side. And then come up and over. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up and back. Turn your head so we get a little bit of work through our neck and upper body. I mentioned at the beginning of this session, a stretch for 5, 10, or 15 minutes would be awesome to incorporate in your day. So however long this video is, or future videos you watch, you don't have to do the whole video. Maybe you do half the video and save the other half for later. Maybe you fast forward through some points and get to where you like. So keep that in mind. Good, hold here. We're gonna send our left palm to the mat and then lift your hips, but go ahead and point your toes down, up and down. We usually let our chickens out for about an hour every day to free range. I know I'm changing topics, but today is probably the coldest day of our fall season. And oh my gosh, the idea of going outside and being with the chickens for an hour is not calling my name. Hold here. Maybe I'll get my husband to do it. Remember, you could bend your knees, right? Very good. Let's take our legs into a straddle. So for many folks, just sitting in this wide-legged position with your feet flexed and your toes pointing to the ceiling is plenty of stretch. So find that place that you feel your biggest stretch, and then just roll the toes in and out. And you're going to take note where those toes are pointing, you're going to feel a different pull from the inside of the leg and the back of the leg. So I recommend toes straight up. You see what you feel like? You're going to swing one arm behind you. We'll get some internal rotation of the shoulder, and then come across with your top arm over your ear. And we'll switch side to side. Yep. I don't even know where the dog is, but I didn't call for him. Good. Both arms come up, and then we're going to twist and then look over your shoulder, bringing both hands towards your hips. Come back up, and then twist the other way. Yep, just like that. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Both arms up. And now you're going to take your hands towards your legs, maybe your ankles, and you're going to reach forward. Reaching forward with your chest. Once you're in this forward fold, you're going to play with the concept of tucking your chin in, look to your belly button, and then inhale, lift your heart space and look forward. Good. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Oliver, I think this is the best part of your day. He's really not deprived or neglected, but he's sure acting that way. One more. Hello, Oliver. I got your tail. I got your tail. And hold. Awesome job, gang. We're going to take a seated spinal twist with a little variation. So we're going to start with our legs out in front of us. We're going to pull our right leg into our body. Then you can bend this bottom leg. You don't have to. And you hold this leg so tight. Take a twist. Look over your shoulder. All right, we just did those twists to warm up. Now we can enhance the twist even more. You can drop your chin down. You can turn your head farther back. This might need to move your head at a very specific angle for you to get into any tight areas of the neck. Good. Look forward. We're going to stay in this position with the legs, but just let this top knee drape down. And see that if you can tip forward a little bit, you might lean to one side. That's a great hip stretch. I love this one. Right, and during this whole stretch routine, I'm going to forget about all the worries of the world and just make myself feel better. I'm feeling better. Are you feeling better? Awesome. All right, now this top leg is going to swing all the way back behind you. And I want you to create a nice space between your front heel and your back leg. We call this a 90-90 stretch. You're going to lean forward and you're going to make a little hip circle. Lots of work through our hips. Yeah. Change directions. You might find some different variations here. But I do really recommend there being a lot of space between your front heel and your back knee so we get the best positioning of our pelvis. Excellent. Nice and tall. Straighten the front leg. Pull the back knee in. And we're going to take a quadricep stretch. So you might lean back here. What I do recommend is don't go all the way back and then have this knee pick up, which I see a lot of when I teach my practice. So you go back as far as you can, as long as this front knee makes contact with the mat. I am not picky about if this foot is pointed back behind you or flexed. For me, I just am more comfortable with my foot flexed, right? And I can usually make it down to my forearms, but any farther, my knee will pick up, and then I just kind of lose the stretch. So wherever you like to be here, it's a great quadricep stretch. If that doesn't work for you, another option is just to lay on the side of your body, reach for your foot here. And this is a fantastic quadricep stretch. Along with, I'm just going to give you one other option while we're here. You can lay on your belly and reach for your foot here. Okay. I do like to give lots of options because we're all built differently, right? So use them as you need them. Extend both legs. And we do that whole sequence now on the other side. So bring your foot into your body, wrap. Now, if you want to bend the knee, we'll get it. There we go. Big hug, look over your shoulder. Fantastic job. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Reconnect with your yoga breath. Long, deep breaths in and out through your nostrils if you lost it along the way. You know, I always roll my mat out and I think, oh, I'll just do a 15-minute practice. I try sometimes just to do a 10-minute practice. It never works. Good. I just get sucked into the moment. We're going to let this front leg relax. You can lean forward. If you have to arrange your legs a little differently, you do it. I love my time on the mat. And when I'm here, I tell everybody else in my house, leave me alone, except for this one. Don't bother me. I have my husband shut up in the office right now. I invited him to come stretch with us. At some point, we'll see him. All right, so untangle your legs and let's swing this top leg behind us, taking that 90-90 stretch. Again, a lot of distance between your front heel and your back knee. Good. And tip forward. Now, once you're tipped forward, you can do a little circle. This is where I usually feel a big pop of my hip. Like it just sets something free, but in a good way. Those pops and cracks are good, as long as there's no pain associated with it. Switch sides. Good, good, good. Feels so good. All right, and then we'll straighten this front leg and pull in the back knee. Again, this is where you can point your toes to the ceiling and lean back as far as you like. Now, for whatever reason, I can usually point this foot and it feels pretty good, but not the other foot. That's just the human body for you. Yeah, you can go to your forearms. Remember, you can lay on the side of your body and reach for your foot. You can even lay on your belly. What I want people to know who are just starting out with stretching and being in the exercise world, there is something for everybody. So if you get a stuck spot in some stretch or pose, please just write something in the comments. I need help with my Warrior One or whatever it is, and I will certainly address it. Cool. Come on up, shake out the legs. And then we're going to take the right leg over the left, a little crisscross, sit nice and tall, and then tip forward. So where you're going to feel the stretch is in the bottom leg. Now you can drop your head, much like when we were in the straddle. You can drop your forehead to your knees. You can lengthen your spine. Good. Sit up, and let's try it on the other side. Once again, tip forward, flex this bottom foot. If your toe points in or out, the stretch will feel different. You can bring your forehead down to your knee. You can then look up towards your toes. Excellente. All right, let's sit nice and tall. We're going to sit with our legs crossed. If that doesn't work for you, you can sit in a straddle. You might sit on something that elevates your hips like a pillow. It might be more comfortable. And we're going to just do little neck circles, removing any residual tension through the neck and shoulder. Long, deep breaths in and out through your nostrils. Change directions. Don't rush the process. Yep, you gotta stay the course. Gotta stick with the journey. Good. We're going to hold a neck stretch. If you just take your right arm behind you, let your left ear drift to your shoulder, and you can kind of take your left arm and just wrap it in front of you. And then you might gaze up to the ceiling, then gaze down towards the floor. Little movement of your head. If you've been staring at a screen all day, this might feel really, really good on your neck. Look straight down, tuck your chin in, and then lift your head. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Left arm goes behind you. You can bring your right arm in front and let your ear drop down. Good. And once again, you can turn your gaze looking down and looking up. You may just hold the stretch. You might find that special spot where you're getting your best stretch and hang out there. Good. Look straight down. Hands on knees. Looking up. Inhaling. Feeling a bit refreshed, renewed, restored. That's the name of the game. Namaste, my friends. Thank you for joining me today. Please hit the like button, subscribe, shoot a comment below what you want to see more of, what you like, what you might not like, things you'd like switched up. I'd love to hear from you. With that, have a great day, and I'll see you next time on Balanced Body and Beyond.